So 30 points up on the Nifty now with banks leading the charge. The bank Nifty is soaring almost 1% higher. That's the shape of the equity market. Let's figure out what's happening with commodities. We have Manisha Gupta joining in with the latest. Manisha, what's capturing your imagination today?
Gold. I'm never not moving away from that. It is bulls in control when it comes to gold prices. And what a stupendous run-up that we've seen. Every single or every second day, you are looking at an all-time high coming into the markets there. So we're trading above $3,280 an ounce at this point in time, which is an all-time high. And with those kind of gains, we are up by 25% in this year after 28% of gains in all of last year. So it has been a one big strong rally that we are seeing in case of the gold prices right now. Well, also when you look at the overall markets, and this is an interesting chart that should come on your screens now. It tells you on how the gold prices have been moving on the higher side. I've taken the last 4 or 5 years here, and we're trading above 3,280 right now. If you look at the month of April last year, same time, it was at 2,350. So almost $1,000 of a jump up per ounce is what you're looking at in case of gold prices in last 12 months itself. April 2023, we were at 2,000, 19, 20. So as you can see, 22 and 23, the gains weren't so much, or at an understandable range therein. But in last 4 years, we've come all the way from 1725 to 3275 right now. So very, very strong gains continuing in case of gold prices, with more and more banks and brokerages now upping their forecast for this year, for 2026. 27 and 28 as well. So banks believe that you could be looking at higher gold prices for the next 3 to 4 years as well. Various factors which have been supporting the gold prices. One, of course, there's a lot of uncertainty around the U.S. trade policy. And then it is a weak U.S. dollar index, which is trading below 100. So no safe haven buying really coming in for the dollar index. Much of that money really seems to be flowing in case of gold. The falling U.S. Treasury yields has been yet another factor there. And then the markets are looking at very strong inflows that we have in sense of investment in gold ETFs in India, in Asian markets, and most of the global markets therein as well. Also, you're looking at higher U.S. debt numbers. The world debt numbers also have been growing. That has been supportive. And then the markets also are looking at the historical chart pattern data. If you look at the numbers from 2000 to 2025, it has been only 2 years that gold has given you a negative double-digit return. Apart from that, it has been positive cues continuing from gold, and that historical pattern also shows you that gold perhaps continues to be a favorite place to be in. For the Indian markets then, we are trading at above all-time highs, above 94,400. Interestingly, there are no buyers in the Indian markets. Most people tell us that the demand could have declined by 40% in the Q1 part there. And when you look at the markets right now as well, it is more about exchange and old gold coming into the market rather than sales of gold. And that has led to a big discount in the Indian markets. Well, I've been talking to some of the jewelers there, and they say $25 to $28 an ounce of a discount is what you are looking on, Bill. And in the cash markets, it's as high as $180 to $200 an ounce as well. Clearly, no buyers there. And a final plate should show you on what the banks and brokerages are expecting the gold prices to go from here. These are the only revised banks that I've taken in right now. So Deutsche Bank now says that they see a support at 3139, 3129 kind of levels, and their next target on the higher side is 3700. Goldman Sachs has talked about 3700 as well, with 4000 by the end of this year or middle of 2026. Bank of America and Citi have talked about levels between 3300 to 3500 as well. UBS has revised its forecast. This was a report yesterday at 3,500. De Beer has been saying 33 to 4,500 since the month of December now. And Swiss Asia Capital has talked about 3,500, 3,700 in this year. And the next 3 or 4 years, bullishness may just about continue. What the street, though, will focus in the day today is going to be the U.S. Powell speech and the U.S. retail sales data. That would make an impact on the dollar index and gold prices for the very, very near term, though.
All right, gold it is. Manisha, thank you very much for that. And we'll, of course, put the spotlight very much on this. So many angles to cover as far as gold and how well gold as a commodity has done.